All right, we're back with the Honda Odyssey here. As you guys know, last video I picked this thing up for, I think it was $17.50. It was in pieces, it was really rough, but last video we actually got to fire up. It sounded pretty good. So this video, we are going to attempt to take it for the first ride. We gotta finish up a couple things before we do that. The frame, as you guys know, was cut right here and repaired. That needs to be welded a little bit better. You can see it's just tack welded. And then the brakes are non-existent at this point. You can see these are the brake cables. And when you pull them, that's supposed to activate the brake. The back brake was missing the brake line. Coming from, let's see, right here. And it's supposed to go down underneath the machine and go to the front. And then it looks like it was missing the Perkin brake as well. But we'll see if we can fix all that stuff today. And then the plastics are a little bit cracked in places. You can see a big crack right there. And then on these over here, in the back fenders, you can see pretty good sized cracks on them. So we actually got a plastic welder off of Amazon. We're gonna test that out today as well. The rest of the plastics look pretty good. But a couple more things before we can take this thing for the first ride. So let's go on this and see if we can get this thing ready for the first ride. All right, so here is the front brake master cylinder. So these actually go out like that when this thing's activated. So the wires pull on each other and that pumps the brake fluid through here. So we're gonna try to hook this up today and get the front brakes to work at least. And then we actually got this kit off of Amazon right here. It's a brake kit. Comes with a brake bender tool, brake line, and then all the fittings for it. And then what's this thing? This is the tool to put the fittings on. Get the cutter in there, and then the different size attachments. So we'll see if that's gonna work. I kind of want to see if the fittings are gonna work here. Let's take a peek at those. Let's just see if any of these work on the caliper. A bunch of these, a couple of these. You'd think one of these would work out of a bunch. Let's see if anything screws in. Doesn't have to be the exact size, it just has to be able to screw in here. Oh yeah, look at that. Perfect fit. That's gonna work great. See if it screws into here. We do need it for the rear, so hopefully it works for the rear. I'll quick check. All right, looks like it's gonna work for the rear as well. That looks good. All right, cool. So this thing looks like it just clamps around the bars here. Like this, so these have to come out. Those are on there pretty good. That comes off. And this looks like it's gonna sit right here. You're gonna have one of these wires go into here. Just getting this brake fitting in here. Looks like that's a 10 mil. mount on here. Actually, I don't even know if I need to do that yet. We'll have to adjust as we go. All right, now in this master cylinder, there's actually 2 canisters. One for the front brake, one for the rear brake. So we'll fill up this side, which is for the front brake, and we'll see if we can bleed it here. So if you look, there's 2 separate places for the brake fluid to go. So we'll fill up the one side here, just like that. And we'll kind of pump it a little bit and just see what happens. See if it goes down at all here. There's probably a ton of air in the system. Alright, it's kind of hard to see, but the bleeder screw is right down here. Just gonna crack that open and pump the brake. You can kind of hear it coming through. You can kind of hear all the air coming out. Fluid's going down. I'm just gonna hold it, tighten it back up, pump again. So all the air's out of the system here. Oh yeah, that's nice. Alright, that's getting nice and firm there. So that one is bled. You can see up here. Now this lever doesn't pull all the way back here. And the brake on that side is working. All right, now that the front brakes are working, let's work on the rear. We've got our brake line here. We just straightened it out here. And now we've got to make a couple bends. Get an attachment fit up here. Bending tool here. Let's see if it works. I'm guessing it just kind of goes like this. I think we've got to make one like right there. Let's see where we're at. So in the back here, we can see the brake line has to line up with this line right here. So we've got to make a 90 up, and then we can bend that up and get the fitting on there. And use our flaring tool to flare that out so that this can seat nicely on the brake caliper. So it's easier to work with. So you just cut this copper line. Alright, that's cut. We've got our tool here. We're gonna make a 90-degree bend on it. Right about here. Tighten it up a little bit. There we go. Alright, now we're going to be using the flaring tool to make this flare. So to do that, we want our fitting on first. Pop that guy on. I'm going to take this tool right here. Since our tubing is 3/16, we're going to use the end one, which is 3/16. I'm going to shove that in here. You want to tighten this side first. And they came with these little fittings for the double flare. Just gonna line that up and make sure it's the same height as that. That's pretty close. So right there, we'll check again once we tighten this up. So you just wanna make sure that's the same width as this fitting. And pop that on there. Sometimes it's a little tight after you cut the tubing, but it'll fit right on there. I've already done this a couple times, so I've gotten the feel for it. I recommend testing on a junk piece before you go full bore with it. Now this thing, you're just gonna crank down and make the first flare. And you're gonna bottom it out all the way. So just twist it until it bottoms out. You'll be able to feel it. There, that's bottomed out right there. Back that off. Now we're going to do another flare. Second flare. Sometimes this little piece gets caught in here as well. Here. Like that. And you can see the first flare was made. See that? Now we're going to take our tool again like this and just go directly on it. Again, we're going to bottom this one out. It's pretty bottomed out right there. Loosen these up. This one first, and this one. You can just open this whole thing. Slide that out. You can see you have a nice flare. Check that out. Looks pretty good. and that would be a double flare. Then we can get our fitting in. Hopefully we can get this thing to work here. Hopefully it didn't make it too tall. Alright, that looks pretty good. Got our brakes just below the frame. They wrap up to the front. So this one is the left-hand brake. Let's see if it starts to bleed here. We're looking for any leaks by the fitting here. Kind of. So that's squirting out of there. So the bleeder screw is right there. We just have to crack that. See if any fluid gets out. All right, we've got rear brakes. Took forever to bleed these, but the rear brakes are working great. All right, so we got this plastic welding kit. Came with this gun and then a bunch of these clips that heat up and go into the plastic. So you stick them in the end of the gun right here. Then you hit the trigger and you can see it heat up. It's gonna turn red. Then you can stick them in the plastic. It's kind of cool. It came with a bunch of different ones. Came with a little clipper, some plastic weld to fill in cracks with, a bunch of them. So we're gonna test this thing out, see what it can do. So I just did a test one right here, but I went too deep with it. You can kind of see it from the other side. So you don't want to see that like that. So we're gonna try it again. Let's kind of practice here. You can see the crack right here, so we want to go just like this, heat it up until it's red. And we don't want to go too far in with it. And then we're just gonna hold it. That one was perfect. Then what you do, you clip off these little guys at the end. So that worked pretty well. These things heat up fast too. Another one going on. Let's try this again. Heats up really fast. Alright, that's done. Now we're just going to take the clipper, just clip off all these. See what it looks like from the other side here. You can barely tell except for the one that went all the way through. Man, that is really strong. That looks great. These off. Jeez. So if you wanted to fill in the cracks, I think you just go like this. I think this thing gets hot. You can just fill in the cracks with this. Alright, we've got this rear fender. You can see it's all cracked right here. So let's see if we can fix that up. First we gotta get it into place here. Looks like it got smashed pretty good here. The inside corner fixed. So I think we have some for an inside corner. So I believe these are the corner ones. You can see it's like a triangle. So we're gonna try to get this right in the corner. Kind of hard to see. Another corner one right in here. Alright, there's the repair. There's the crack right here. Here's the back side of it. You can see that's fixed, otherwise the support wouldn't have been supporting anything. So, it's super strong. No flex at all. So that worked out pretty good. Alright, we were able to get the back fenders on. Both back fenders are on and repaired. Looking pretty decent. I wish we had that little piece right here. Then it would be complete, but at least we fixed the one crack. And same with this. It was cracked pretty bad right there, so good thing we fixed that. And then I fixed these cracks right here. We got all that mounted up. Missing a couple screws, but pretty much complete. The seat is mounted with the harness. It's also mounted. So everything is good to go. The only thing left we have to do is welding. So we're gonna get the welder out, weld these tubes back on, both sides, get that nice and secure, and then we'll take it for the first test drive. All right, made it out to the land. We're gonna go take this thing for the first test drive, see how she does. All right, when I go to start this thing up, you can see air bubbles in the fuel line. So I'm thinking it's trying to get gas, but it's just pulling air. So I think it's low on gas. Doesn't seem like reserve's working on the tank too well. Maybe that's clogged. That's fixed. Cool. We're just low on gas. Alright, my microphone broke on my GoPro. So hopefully this works out here. I've got the external mic working. Fire this thing up, get her in neutral. Alright, first ride on the Honda Odyssey. It did not disappoint. This thing absolutely flies. Super fun. Has tons of power. It's just really, really nice. I like it a lot. It is really, really fun. Highly recommend. If you find one, go buy one. It's definitely a fun machine. Oh, I just found the VIN right here. So we can register this, take it on the trails. It's super fun. Super low to the ground, so it doesn't feel like you're gonna roll it. And the brakes are working out great. So we fixed those. It's just running great. I'm happy with it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the first ride. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Stay tuned for next video. And until next time, we are